Hello everybody, this is Brenda Power Medicine Woman, and this is what I look like when I'm not all dialed up for the show. I had an interesting experience with Neptune retrograde. So I felt a shift and I couldn't quite balance it, and so I'm like, okay, finally I get this motivation. I go to the store, I pick up a tire, I get some mortar, and the next thing I know, I'm standing next to somebody, and I completely got fogged, dumbfounded. I'm like, I knew just a second ago what I wanted to ask for. And I'm standing there, and I can't remember for the life of me. And I thought, do I go back to the car where I left the thought? Because that does happen. I go back to the car where I left the thought. No. And then all of a sudden I couldn't get out of this fog. Now, what interacted during that time was very simple. Two men were standing there, and I was wearing my Port Power team scarf. And so the guy was joking with me. But I had looked at him, and I started to joke back, and that's when I didn't remember what I went there to buy. And then the other guy's asking me, what do you want? I'm like, and I can feel myself searching, and I'm looking into my memory, which is to your left, and then I reconstructed the event with my husband. And I literally did the tracing. I could not, for the life of me, remember it. And then I said a word, and then he goes, oh, blue bag or gray bag? And I'm like, oh my God, the color's even gone. I used to know the color that what my husband wanted. What? My memory, my words, my thoughts, my language. And finally, I said, okay, I need to make a decision. I tried to reach up to Spirit. Spirit says, you got to be human. You have to learn from this experience. I'm like, wow. And normally when it's raining out, which is what it was, you get this isolation, so you don't have to pick up other people's energies. And it wasn't just the retrograde, because I was fine until I bumped into other people's energies, okay? And so I got my stuff. Well, it was wrong. Went back, got the right stuff. Go into a store. And then in front of me, it's these two women. And for some reason, I knew her but didn't know her. But they're saying, no, ask her. So I asked her. And I could feel Spirit, but yet I had a hard time with Spirit because I knew I had to feel something and experience something. So I'm chatting with her, finally figure out what I want, go to the other one, she pays for, or I pay for it. And then I can't remember, I think I brought up the issue, and then she had brought up something I wrote on Facebook. I thought, oh, I knew I know her, but in my mind I'm like, I still can't place it. I think, Spirit, why won't you tell me? Why is it I can't recall? So I chatted with her, lovely girl, or woman, and I said, pardon me, what is your name? She told me. I thought, yes! And then it's like, I had one thought, one memory. I recognize the name. So I said thank you. I left her. And then Spirit comes flooding. Okay, we'll tell you who she is. Remember this time you talked to her here? Remember you talked to her here? Remember on the show? And I'm like, oh, yes! I'm so excited because it's like, I'm not crazy. I haven't lost my memory. And then, of course, I go into the grocery store and poop, it's gone. In the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, so I'm really, really into the lesson. It's so subtle. So subtle. I thought, okay. And I seemed to be, the pattern was I was in the way. No matter what, I was in somebody's way. And I could pick up how people were bitching at me because, oh, how dare she have her cart in my way. And I could feel all of that. And I'm like, oh, and it's not a good feeling. And I am like, oh, I observe. In my mind, I'm doing Celtic Celtic energy, figure eights, oh, separation. And Spirit goes, well, no, not this time. You need to really pay attention. Okay. And I walked around, and it was amazing how thick the fog was. I'm in that store how many times? I couldn't even remember where the peas were so I could make split pea soup. I'm like, geez, I know this store. Go up to a young kid that's working there. He tells me, I'm like, no, it can't be. The map in my head of the store is different. All right, fine. And it's like, I could see what it felt like is that you're losing your mind. And it's easily to be influenced by planetary energies and people's energies. So it's easily influenced. Gotcha. The topic of some of the conversation reverted back to how I understand nothing about male energy. This is that aggression energy. And I'm listening, and it's all good. And all I could think about was how Spirit said the one punch theory. And I'm like, what's that got to do with it? And they're saying, well, the one punch theory is that men, they get angry, they smack each other around, it's done. And they're friends again. For women, it's something else. And I'm like, well, what? I got nothing. I got dropped. And then as I'm having a conversation with another person, I realize there's so many different variations of personalities. And where I lie in that, it's right in the middle. So Spirit says, you're doing good. You just have to create a new healthy boundary. And I thought, okay. And this is based on the soul contract of coming in with the idea of understanding about what love is and what love isn't, with anger and aggression, irrational thinking, the coping tools we choose. And growing up, I was told that my family didn't love me by another family member. And of course, I believed them because I loved them so deeply. As I began to age, I realized I didn't need to be controlled by people. The biggest clue was when I've done everything I can to go out of my way to show to you I am not like anybody else. And yet you're still saying the same thing as if you didn't know who I was. And Spirit says, well, it's just their program that is part of their survival. I says, but yeah, shouldn't they learn? And then Spirit goes, what did you just say? Oh, God. All right, fine. Not expecting anybody to learn anything. So I retracted my thinking. And it is to notice how people's programs are. How I can get wrapped up in everybody's programs without knowing. I lose myself. So it's called easily influenced, which is also what Saturn talks about. So it's like, I really can feel this program on such a deep level through the heart. Because my dream, because like I tell you, I live it, breathe it, walk it, talk it, dream it. And my dream, I don't remember it, but I do remember putting a battery into somebody's watch and helping them just so that they can find more time. And it had to do with the matter of the heart. And I'm like, And so more pieces are coming together. But the biggest thing out of this whole conversation I wanted to let you know is that with Neptune in retrograde, I mean, I was in a deliberate fog. It was intentional by my soul. I could feel that planet so thick because it's in Pisces. But holy man, I was so happy when I got home. So that wonderful friend on Facebook, and she, for just a brief second, by connecting with her and her saying her name, it was oh yeah, I'm being human. I mean, really human. With attitude and everything. And I was trying to pinpoint what was that personality. What was the story? What pain was in there? And we don't realize we do this. That's not normally who I am. And I love who I am. And so it was to see how I gave birth to this particular personality. And do I need to keep putting energy into that? And it's not so simple as to heal. But you have to rewrite the rules. You have to look at the values. Because I was told that I wasn't loved, then I will do things that people don't love to do. And I guess in a part of me was like, it's no big deal for me. But I think I was looking for them to love me. And then if I look at how other people are hurt because I didn't show them the love they wanted, because I was putting down a healthy boundary for me, not to lose myself. And that's a difficult one for people to understand, is because I moved in the category of I love and respect whatever it is you choose to do. Why don't I get that back? So my inner world and my outer world is showing me two different things. I started to develop more of respect. I'm just not receiving it. And if I'm sitting there doing things that are in a program that needs to be resolved, I think that plays a part into it. So, as again, I don't look and analyze this through ego. I ask Spirit to help teach me so I can create an evolution. I know that it's time for me to be quiet. And sometimes I can say stuff that can be so deep or so confusing. I'll let you decide that. All I can say is this. Stay blessed!